Good morning, good morning. The sun is shining. What a beautiful day. I'm going to have a puff on e-cig then. In a canny. Hey, 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 what a beautiful day. Good morning. Good morning, gay up, Mick. How are you this fine dandy morning? I hope everybody is well. Push my glasses up. Can't believe how nice weather is. Morning, Katie, my lovely. Katie, I saw you commenting the other day, and I'm thinking, I'm not live, and I'm trying to comment back to let you know I weren't live, but I don't know whether you were seeing my comments or not. It were on one at tarot readings that I were doing. But I'm live tonight, sweets, 9 o'clock. I'll be live tonight doing tarots. So, yes. Good morning, Dawn. How are you this morning? I hope everybody's well. I've just took mine. I've just took my meds. Pain in the ass taking them. Forget to take them. I forgot to take them yesterday, and I was in. I should have took my tablet in morning, and I forgot to take it. So we were out yesterday and got in, and I was like, no. So I had to have a quick release to kick in. So I was pain free after that. I'm good, thank you, Dawn. I think I'm going to go out on the scooter today and have a walk round, seeing as the weather's nice. Morning, Michelle. So for all those that are watching that are interested in tarots, I am live tonight at 9 o'clock. So please pop along and join. So this morning we're going to do a bit of self-care. We're going to do a bit of self-care in a bit. We're going to have a chit-chat and talk about self-care. Because I think we all need that. Morning, Gillian, my lovely. How are you? How's things with you and your end? I hope everybody's okay and sending loads of love and healing, my lovely. Morning, how are you? What's your plans this lovely day? Well, Anne, morning, Rachel, morning, Anne. Well, I think I'm going to actually get dressed, and I think I'm going to go out on a scooter for a nice little walk around the estate. I don't know if Joe wants to get ready and come with me, because they had to cut their holiday short because the park ran out of gas. So they ended up coming home yesterday. Little ones aren't been very well though, but I think a bit of fresh air might do them good if we take them for a little walk round block. So I think we might just go for a little walk today, seeing as the weather's nice. I don't have to risk trying to walk a little bit of my way on sticks, or whether to actually just stay on scooter. I'll see how I feel as we start walking round. I'll take them just in case, and then John might have to sit on my scooter for me for a little bit so I can do a little bit of walking. I'll try and do my walking on flat so that I'm not going to strain my legs. So what I'm going to do is I read a bit of this other day. But I think I'm morning, Donna, my lovely. Let me show you. John, sorry, I know you're doing your coursework. Could you work sorry, you said, do I need out else? Can you bring me them artworks that we did yesterday? I'm going to show you what I did yesterday. I know, I think they've just got a bit of, I think it's just like a bit of sicky bug, I think they've got. Feeling poor. Oh, Michelle, sending you healing, my lovely. I hope you've got your doctors phoning you today, Buttes. So I'm going to show you this. I do up an encaustic. Morning, Lisa. It's encaustic art. I called it something else yesterday, and everybody will like looking at me going out. So this, hopefully, I'm going to get a kit soon. And when I do, I'm going to be doing some of this. So some of these are mine. So I'll show you at first. First one I did were right dark. For the first time, because what it is, you're working with hot wax. You're working with warm wax. And the first one I did was quite dark, but I like these for tarots. So that's the first one I did. Now, if I look at it that way, I can see like a turtle or something, some kind of animal form in there. And if I turn it that way, it looked like a kind of like a bully type thing. But then when I've looked at it, and the more you look at them, the more you see things in them. The next one, these look at, that's what John did. Look how nice that one is. You know, that was just like, I can't believe his went nicer than mine on first attempt. Oh, Grace, is it your birthday? Oh, bless you. Oh, I'm sending you love and healing, my lovely. It's difficult day today, my sweets. But I am going to sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grace. Happy birthday to you. But yeah, we're going to cover some self-care, my lovely, this morning. I think we all need a bit of self-care. But loads of healing, my lovely. My inbox is open if ever you need to talk. That's the other one John did. So again, you can see how all the colours are merging. Morning, Antoinette. So with these, you can actually read from these. I think that one's another one of John's. And then that one. And then that one's mine. And then that's another one. And that one is my favourite one I did, because that one is more or less, it just needs to be a bit redder on that side. But that one is more my, what did we say, Donna, it were? Chakras. It was more like similar colours to chakras, that. But inside, what you do with these is, obviously, because it's done with wax. So what you do is you put your wax onto this hot plate kind of thing, and then you just do like different designs on it. But within each of these, like in that one, you can see sort of like a face there, or I mean, when I first looked at it, were a house. And you can read from I can read from these like I do my tarots. So eventually, when I do get round to saving the pennies up to buy one of these kits, because they're not cheap, I'm going to look at doing encaustic art and doing readings alongside them. So if you're lucky enough to get a reading, you'll get I'll show you a nice one at cards that you'd get sent. So say, what I'll do is I'll put them in envelopes, and oh, bless you, Grace. I'll put them in envelopes, but then I'll just ask people to pick a number. If somebody picks that number before you get yours, then obviously that number weren't meant to be yours, so you'd have to change it. But then what you'd do is you'd have the reading online, but then I'd send you the card through the post. I mean, it might not be this size, it might be half a size, half a smaller size of card. But yeah, I'm going to look into doing that. So hopefully that's something new that we're going to be bringing into channel. I'm still looking for somebody else to join me while I'm doing tarots, so they can give tarot readings as well. I've had a word with Lana, though. I mean, Lana are going to try, and Lana is she's a psychic artist, and Lorna does readings completely different to how I do mine, but we're going to try and combine the two. So I don't know whether Lorna's going to come on and I'll do my readings, and then Lorna will just see who she's sort of like more drawn to in chat as you're coming in. And I don't know whether that's how she's going to pick somebody. I don't know exactly how it's going to work yet. But we're hoping to bring some of that in as well. So that's going to be something new coming up on tarot sides also. So this morning we're going to start with a little bit of light reading, guys. So this book is Self-Care Improves Health, Boosts can't pronounce that word, and reduces anxiety. So when that word resilience, that's the word. And it says self-care truly is the ultimate in prevention medicine, which with our Perpetually busy lives, it's common to put ourselves last, especially when juggling multiple responsibilities and a long list of competing priorities. And it says, know to yourself and better manage everyday stress levels. So, like I said, we did start reading this other day, but I don't know whether just to start from beginning at book. Are you struggling this morning? Oh, bless you, Antoinette. Sending you healing, my lovely lady. So if anybody's got any questions, pop them into chat while we're going through these, and be honest and see if you don't want to answer them online, if there's questions that get asked in book. If you don't want to answer them online, don't, but just make sure that you've took notes so you can answer them, and then you know little ways to start making your daily changes. So it says, what is self-care? What springs to mind when you hear the term self-care? Is it bubble bath, spa days, sweet smelling candles, complex yoga poses, Netflix and chocky bars? Oh, Antoinette, sending him loads of healing. Let me know how he goes, Antoinette. Keep me posted, by lovely. And sending him healing sweets. Self-care is such a buzzword these days. And while I'm reading, I might get words tongue-tied, twisted. I might lisp, I might go short-tongued, and I might pronounce a lot of words quite wrongly. Bear in mind that is the dyslexia part coming out. So you just have to laugh along with me when I do these mistakes. Self-care is such a buzzword these days that its true meaning sometimes gets lost. While manicures and mojitos are awesome, self-care is much bigger and deeper than that. Put simply, self-care is taking care of yourself. It's a daily practice of habits and rituals that nurture your well-being, from the physical and mental to the spiritual. It's about filling your cup first so you can pour more energy back into your life. Best of all, self-care also makes you feel good. It's 5 years today that my brother died, not feeling happy, especially now my brother. Oh, bless you, sweets. Infectious laughter, you're helping to take my mind off things, albeit a temperature. Oh, bless you, my lovely. I'm here for you, Gillian, if you need me, my sweets. So, self-care. Who does self-care? How many people in chat do a bit of self-care? I don't. Meditation is probably my self-care at the minute, and that's probably all that I do. So I think meditate, obviously, don't include your washing and your bathing, and that's just a tech, in it. We do that anyway. So self-care. Getting to know yourself. When you're more aware of what you're thinking and feeling, you get better at giving yourself the care you need, and you become your biggest ally. Taking responsibility for creating a healthier and happier life. It's hard work, but it's also very empowering. Tailored to you, whether it's banning phones from the bedroom, getting a full body massage, or taking up tap dancing. You get to decide what self-care looks like. Getting real. Self-care requires us to look in the mirror and ask what's working here and what's not, and finding the courage to do things differently. Self-care is not an indulgence, contrary to the naysayers. Hey up, Duck. How you doing, Dave? It's not all fluffy slippers and frivolity. Taking steps to support our health and well-being is a basic necessity we need to function well in our lives. Chill out to a bit of music and take time out for myself. That's a good way, Lisa. I've been listening to radio a lot. Just putting music on this week, and I found it a lot more relaxing than having telly on. Time consuming. So self-care is not time consuming. So there's no excuses, ladies and gents. Even a few minutes of self-care a day can have a positive impact on your life. Self-care is not selfish. Too often our society values the martyr, those who give and give and leave little for themselves. But self-sacrifice can lead to burnout and poor health. Self-care is about bringing some of that love, care, and attention back to yourself. And self-care is not a one and done deal. There's a reason we call it self-care practice. We have to keep practicing day after day, imperfectly, but consistently. Now that you understand what self-care is and why it's important to make it happen, in this chapter, we'll help you figure out where to start. So, choosing a self-care practice. I sit in my dungeon room. Well, yesterday when we went to Donna's, Donna showed me her room, and oh my God, the spiritual room that Donna's got is absolutely, honestly, you felt the energy shift when you were in there. And in their room, they do quite a lot of spiritual work as well. And I said to John, I want a room like that. I want my own little like spiritual heaven, where I can do my tarots from, where I can feel just just at that piece. So we're going to create a space for that. So it can be tempting to treat self-care like a chore or self-improvement project, but the goal is to create a practice that makes your life better. We recommend starting small and just choose one new practice to weave into your daily life. So think about the 5 main aspects of self-care: physical, mental, spiritual, joy, and relationship. Do you particularly feel drawn to one? So out of them, which would you say that you're more drawn towards? Physical, mental, spiritual, joy, or relationship? All's good here finally after all fence blown down in storm, 10 panels cook up. When did you have storm, Dave? Was that from other week? So once you've decided, where in your life do you feel an itch to make a change? We all have that itch. What makes you resilient? What would you like to make more time for? And what sounds like a fun or pleasurable thing to do? Keep it clean, keep it clean. What could make an immediate positive impact, even a tiny one? Choose a specific action that you could start today. It might be a regular practice you want to bring into your life, or a task that's been on your wish list for a while. It could even be something that you already do and you want to give more love and attention to. Yours is mental, yeah. Evening, Tracy, my lovely lady. So for you, see, I'm a mixture of all of them, but I've got to focus on one. So I've started focusing on the spiritual side. Get to clinic on what? If it's pleasurable, Dave. But yes, so did I read that bit? Yes. Here are a few examples to get you thinking. So, creating a bedtime routine. Add a piece of fruit to your afternoon snack. Read a novel during your lunch break. Sign up to dance classes you've always fancied. Book an appointment with a therapist and start a daily gratitude practice. But you know what? We talk about therapists and doctors and going at doctors, don't we, when we're not feeling well? And a lot of people don't say, "Oh, you said I ain't got an itch." A lot of people don't think that they need to go to the GP. And can I just say, for those that say, when we know we're struggling, but we say we don't need a GP, or we don't need something, take that as a sign that you do need something. And by going to it's not always about taking medication. It doesn't have, there's different routes that you can go down, but just make sure you do seek out that help you need, in whichever form you get it, because that self-care towards yourself is something that you need to give yourself. No way, Dave, all these things can be replaced. I'm just glad no one was hurt. Just his wallet. The foundation of self-care awareness. Self-awareness is a crucial element of self-care. It's how you figure out what kind of self-care you actually need. It's easy to rush through your day without being fully aware of what you're feeling. Next thing you know, it's 5 p.m. and you're arm deep in a bag of chips, tired, grumpy, without knowing why. Exactly. Yeah, you do, Lisa, when you really do need it. You do, yeah. Self-awareness is simply getting to know yourself. It's about slowing down and being present and getting quiet so you can hear your inner wisdom. We promise it's there. When we get quiet, things that are important to us get louder. The more you do it, the better you'll understand the kind of self-care you need. There are many ways to cultivate self-awareness, from a morning journal session to a meditation practice or a simple check-in practice. Well, over on members, I've started posting morning meditations, and I'm going to also start posting nighttime, bedtime meditations, and maybe a few free afternoons for those that want to do them in the afternoon. The 1 minute check. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, simply stop for 1 minute. Morning, Sunblock. You're well, my lovely. I'm all good, thank you. Stop for 1 minute and ask yourself, what are you thinking right now? And are you focused on the task at hand, or is something else on your mind? What emotions are you feeling? And name each one. What's happened in your body? Any aches or pains asking for attention? Mentally scan from head to toe and check in. What do you need right now? Be specific. A break, a stretch, a glass of water, a hug, a walk. And what's the very next small step I can take? So they're the questions you need to be asking yourself now. Start by doing this when you wake up, then build up a few times throughout the day and evening. It's a great way to bring yourself into the present moment. Then you can make a self-care adjustment as needed. So how to make self-care happen? Once you've identified what self-care practices you want to try, it's time to make them a big part of your life. Habits, rituals, and goals are the 3 ways to get there. Habits. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle said that. Habits help to put self-care on autopilot, but it's important to approach them in a thoughtful, realistic way. And here's how to do it. Shrink it. Choose a habit that's realistic and take into account where you are right now. If you want to run but haven't done so in 20 years, don't aim for a marathon in 1 day. If you want to start a meditation practice, try a 5-minute guided meditation rather than attempting to sit in silence for an hour. Being realistic allows your brain and body to adjust to your new behavior, and it will be more likely to stick. Plan it. As basic as it sounds, things that get scheduled tend to get done. Decide when you will do this new habit, put it in your calendar, and set your reminders. Consider sharing your plans with a trusted friend to help you stay accountable. Make sure they suit your motivational style. And do you prefer gentle encouragement or total nagging? I don't think anybody needs total nagging. Piggyback it. Finding it hard to stay on track, make it easy for your brain by associating it with habits you've already had in place. So here's some ideas. Boris needs to meditate, so does Fifi. Love listening to rain, just put rain on and listening to it. It is rain. It's sunshine in here, Antoinette. So finding it hard to stay on track, make it easier for your brain by associating with a habit you already have in place. So your existing habit is making the bed. So the new habit could be sitting on the bed and doing a minute of deep breathing. So make your bed, sit on your bed and do some deep breathing exercises first thing in the morning. When you're brushing your teeth, do 10 squats if you're able to. When you're washing the dishes, listen to a podcast or audiobook. When you walk the kids to the school, call a friend for a chat as you walk back home. Making a coffee at work, fill up your water bottle at the same time. And then review it. Evaluate your habit once you've worked on it for a week. Do you need any adjustments? Does it need to be easier or more challenging? Are you ready to add another new habit? Rituals. You could use the word routine just as easily, but rituals make everyday tasks feel more special. Think about the things you do each day and what you could add a layer of pleasure or pampering to turn them into an occasion. Sometimes it's simply about adding a presence, focusing on the task at hand without distractions. So try this, a morning ritual. Turn the morning rush into a true pleasure. You can't say that if you've got kids. Lay out your clothes the night before, get up a little earlier. Make coffee in your favourite mug and sit outside to enjoy it. Keep your favourite podcast for your commute so you have something to look forward to. Making your flower. That's a good one, Antoinette. A lunchtime ritual. Find a lovely spot out of the office for your lunch instead of eating at your desk. Cooking dinner ritual. Put your favourite playlist, change out of your work clothes and put on your comfy slippers. Make yourself a nice cocktail or mocktail, put on music and enjoy making dinner at a more leisurely pleasure. An evening skincare ritual. It's an obvious choice, but putting on and taking off all those lotions and potions can really help you unwind for the day. Your goals. Self care is not about nurturing yourself in the present, it's about looking after your future self too. Goals are a great way to aim your life compass in the direction you want. Here are the qualities of a good goal. The only thing is that I've got that many now. I don't know what to do with them all. What flowers, Gillian? So exciting. The goal should give you a flutter of excitement or at least be personally meaningful. Don't set a goal to do a triathlon or learn to crochet just because your best mate is, unless that's something you really want to do. Pacific, I want to save $5,000 to buy a car is a goal. I want to save more is too vague. Time based, get clear on how much time you'll spend on working towards this goal and get it scheduled. Measurable, decide how you will measure your progress towards your goal. Why not schedule a few rewards along the way to keep your mojo fired up? How to make time for self care. It might feel like self care is just another thing you're supposed to find time for in an already overpacked day with a million things screaming for your attention. We feel you. But self care doesn't need to take up a lot of time. To have a positive impact, let's free up some time. So create a time log. Spend a week observing how you spend your days. Grab a piece of paper or start a list on your phone and simply note down what you do in half-hour chunks. It's quite a tedious task, but it can be a major eye-opener. Notice when you're most productive, when you're overscheduled, or when you might be just faffing around. Hello, 2 hours looking at YouTube cat videos. How many on us do that though? Not necessarily cat videos, but how many us spend faffing around on 2 hours has gone when by the time you've finished looking at YouTube or Instagram or any other thing. Be ruthless. Does the time log reveal a few chores or obligations you might want to ditch or outsource to others? Look for pocket time. Very few of us can nip off for a spa day at the drop of a hat. So we need to find small windows of time for self-care. Could you go for a walk after you eat your lunch instead of staying at your desk? Could you negotiate a childcare swap with a friend so you each get some time for yourselves? So let me move that. Why is that popped up on my computer? I can look at this is it, Dave. You can look at TikTok for hours. Get uncomfortable. Real self-care sometimes requires doing things that don't come naturally, like exercising at the crack of dawn. Never. And I'd never be at crack of dawn. But if getting fitter is something you really want, and that's the best time to fit it in, you may have to lay off the snooze button. Be a gatekeeper. While a lot of our time is filled with non-negotiable obligations, remember you have agency over the rest. You decide what else you let into your life, from the media you consume to the engagements you say yes to. These things gobble up physical time, mental space, and can be so discerning. In praise of boring self-care. I love sitting and watching the water. I could sit at the side of a river and all day, especially a fishing lake, because at peace and quiet around a fishing lake, I think it's brilliant. Sometimes self-care is not fun or glamorous. Sometimes it's about dealing with things that are difficult, tedious, or infuriating. We're talking about boring self-care. It's booking in the car for its overdue service, making the dentist appointment, or doing something about that annoying dripping tap in the bathroom. It could be setting up a budget, having an awkward conversation with your neighbour about their barking dog, or finding a new home insurance policy. These tasks often don't take long to resolve, but they're ripe for procrastination and take up so much mental real estate. Yes, boring self-care. Boring, but it's so important for your well-being. You'll feel so much relief when you tick off those pesky tasks. So let's do some boring self-care. Make a list. Get those tasks out of your head and onto paper, or keep a running list in your phone. Even acknowledging them can make them feel slightly less annoying. Pick one task to tackle. Go for the one that feels the most doable. Give yourself a pep talk. You can do this. I believe in you. It's okay if you cringe as you say it. Set a timer. Go for it. 20 minutes. See how you feel after that. And if you're keen, set it for another 20 minutes. Reward yourself. Cross the job off the list and do something nice. Curl up with a book or treat yourself to a fancy cafe. When self-care is tough, no matter how many goals, rituals, or habits you have, life loves to throw curveballs. Self-care is often the first thing we shove off the priority list just when we need it the most. Whether it's a period of overwhelm, major life change, or uncertainty, stress, hormones like cortisol will course through your body, making you feel more susceptible to illness and burnout. Even the smallest moment of self care can be soothing in such times. The key is adapting your practice to meet the conditions. Feel all feelings. Take a moment to acknowledge what you're going through. Try the 1 minute check in. Let it all out in a journal or vent to a friend or pets. Pets are good listeners. Our Fifi's my biggest secret keeper and a good listener. Take a deep breath in, place your hands on your heart and say, it's okay to not be okay. Now exhale. Sounds cheesy, but it's a good reminder yourself that you have your own back. Take care, Antoinette. Morning, Shazzy, my lovely. How are you this fine dandy morning? Comfort on tap. Make a go-to list of your favourite comforts for those days when you don't have bandwidth to make one more decision. Think comforting books, TV shows, movies, people to call, cozy outfits, pampering rituals, takeaway menus. Got to remember them. Scale back to essentials. Sometimes we have let some balls drop. Go for the simplest act of self-care, like a quiet 5 minutes with a cup of tea, or brushing your teeth, munching a handful of grapes straight from the fridge or freezer. Freezer if the red grapes, don't put your green grapes in the freezer. So it feels like your body is getting a few vitamins. These small acts are gentle reminders to yourself that you've still got your own back, even in a difficult time. If DIY habits and rituals aren't hitting the spot, the kindest act of self-care may be to reach out to a therapist or counselor. Professional support and guidance can make all the difference. Very nice, Shazzy. It's weather nice for you as well. So you're sitting out with a lovely warm view. Asking for help. Self-care doesn't have to mean by yourself. But for some of us, asking for help doesn't come easy. It's a vulnerable act, and we can worry we'll appear weak or needy if we let the I've got my act together mask drop. But we humans are not islands. Asking for help can be brave and necessarily self-care. What's on your team? Not everyone will be the right person. Think about your circle of friends, family, and acquaintances and decide who you feel comfortable with asking, who is capable of holding space for you, who will listen without bombarding you with unsolicited advice, and who would you happily help in return. Ask early, like waiting until the fuel's warning lights comes on before going to the petrol station. We often wait until we're on the verge of a crisis to reach out for help. Try to notice the signs you might need a hand and don't be afraid to reach out at an early stage. Remember, most people love to help. Think about the last time you helped somebody, whether it was during a crisis, taking care of a chore, or simply lending a listening ear. Did it give you a warm and fuzzy feeling? That's because we humans are hardwired for empathy and connection. Helping each other feels good. There are likely to be people in your life who care for you that would be honoured to step up if you needed a hand. Looking after your body is the foundation of self-care. After all, it's the vehicle that carries your amazing mind around all day long. Your health is your greatest asset, so it's important to treat your body well with good food, regular exercise, and plenty of rest. Our relationship with our bodies can be complex. Sometimes when life is a blur of activity, we almost forget we even have one attached to our busy brains. Other times we hyper focus on them as a problem to be solved. My thighs are too big. I'm not fit enough. My hair is limp. My skin doesn't glow. How we feel about our physical selves is shaped by our experiences and the messages we've absorbed through our lives. Self care is a great way to nurture more respect for our bodies. While we may take them for granted or push them to their limits sometimes, they still carry us faithfully through good times and bad. They deserve to be shown a little love in return, don't you think? We don't ask you to say cheesy affirmations in the mirror, but instead, here are loads of ideas and tips on how to treat your body with more kindness and care. But you know, if you like the affirmations, say the affirmations. Because I tell you something, sometimes repeating an affirmation over and over, saying it out loud's better, but even if you just say it in your head, it'll make such a difference to the way you're thinking and the way your mind goes. Exercise is a loaded term. It's a dirty word. It can sound like duty, sometimes to suffer though, or something that brings back bad memories of high school PE and them dirty showers we had to get in shower. Why not simply call it a movement instead? Thought movements were for toilet. Humans are made to move. It makes you feel good, naturally boosts your metabolism, helps create and maintain muscles, and activates feel good serotonin and dop- dopamine production. How do you like to move? It's easy to obsess about the right way to move with every gym advertisement and Instagram guru that has bossy ideas about what we should do. But the best question is, what do you want to do? Is in if you move in a way that you enjoy, you'll be more likely to keep it up. Think about what suits your personality, schedule and fitness levels, or simply what sounds like fun. First, oh, bless you, my lovely. Take care, sweets. Here are some ideas to get you started. Structure: CrossFit, gym fitness classes, group personal trainings, or park run. If you want to be spontaneous, dancing in the kitchen, a chatty walk with friends. If you're goal orientated, training for a 10K run, powerlifting. Not me at all. What my therapy is watching this when you're on. Oh, bless you. Morning, Paul. How are you, my lovely? Everyone, you got this. We have all got it, haven't we, Paul? Being lively, if you want to be more lively, go to a Zumba class, tap dancing, or ballet. If you want a bit more zen, try yoga, Qigong, and Tai Chi. If you want to be social, touch football, netball, hockey, tennis. See, for me, social would be pub, cafe, drink. Solo, running, walking with a podcast, at home workouts. Just remember, if you're solo and you've got a podcast in, you cannot hear anybody coming up behind you. So always make sure you can hear everything. Outdoorsy, hiking, swimming, surfing, gardening. Childhood redux, skipping rope, tree climbing, hopscotch. No one judges me on here and can talk. Do you know what, Lisa? Nobody's got any right to judge us anyway, my sweets. And do you know, that's what I love about this. There is no judgment on here. We're all the same, aren't we, sweets? Incidental, walking the kids to school, a lunchtime wander around the shops. Schedule it in. Life is a jungle. No, it's not. Life is a juggle. Of conflicting demands and priorities, and this will never change. The good news is that you don't need a huge amount of time to exercise. Whether it's a 5 minute of dancing or an hour-long power walk, it all counts. Go through your diary and block off the non-negotiable commitments. Now look at where you can steal time back and reprioritize. Cutting back scrolling time, asking a family member for help, or getting up half an hour earlier. I'll ask a family member for help than getting up half an hour earlier. Don't think, try robot mode. Don't think, just do. If a voice in your head says, I don't want to, talk right back and say, we're doing it anyway. Put your shoes on and head out of the door like a robot. Honor the appointment you've made with yourself. You're worth the time and effort. What's your why? If exercise feels like just another thing on the to-do list, it can be helpful to think about why you want to move. What's your motivation and why is this important? A compelling reason can get you out the door on a tough day. Not too bad. I'm not too bad, Paul, this morning. Thank you. According to the principles of the neuro-linguistic programming, there are two kinds of motivation: away from and towards. And Paul knows this. Away from motivation is when we want to get away from circumstances or feelings that are causing pain or discomfort. towards motivation moves us in a direction towards more of what we desire. Away from reasons sound like I need to lose weight quickly so I don't look awful in photos. That's me. I must fit into those skinny jeans. I'm sick of huffing up the stairs at work. Away from motivations can provide the first spark to make a change. But notice the negative energy of those words when we focus all our attention on what we don't like. It can be harder to sustain our efforts. It brings up negative self talks that we may call tough love, but often we're simply being mean to ourselves. And we've got enough people being mean to us, haven't we? Towards motivations and positive and empowering, some examples. Feels great to be outside in the fresh air. Exercise is quality time. Exercise is quality alone time and lets me recharge my batteries. I want to do a 5K charity run. Activity. Make a list of movement motions. Go deep. How do you want to feel physically and mentally? How do you have any secret fitness goals or dreams? Write it all down. No one else has to see. Keep your list in a safe place so you can refer to it when your movement mojo is flagging. And then they go on to like food and making the right choices on food. And it's like, it's just don't make big changes, small changes in food. I'm not going to go into food. Importance of sleep. Sleep's very important, and I don't get enough of it. That's me in photo. I'm say man. Half a dozen of us on here cannot sleep at night, can we? Oh, we go to bed and we're tired, and then we in half an hour you're like wide awake thinking, what have I come to bed for? So sleep is vital and basic physical needs, but is often underrated as a self-care tool. In a society that so often honours productivity and busyness, it's easy to keep chugging our coffees and wear sleep deprivation like a badge of honour. That's me. But the benefit of a good night's sleep can't be ignored. Those resting hours are where our body gets busy doing repair work, from healing achy muscles, boosting our immunity, to regulating hormones. It's also when our busy brains process the events of the day. What to do? Oh, that's good, Shazzy. But the benefits of a good night's sleep can't be ignored. No, I've read that bit. What happens if we don't get enough? Studies show a lack of sleep can lead to physical and mental health issues, increased risk of injury, impaired cognitive function and decision-making abilities, memory issues, and reduced productivity. Memory issues, I'm getting them. Getting in the recommended 7 to 9 hours sleep per night may also sound a laughable challenge if you're juggling work, family, and other commitments. But to get close to that number, start by creating a sleep routine. So, to create a sleep ritual, let's be real, we're all basically overgrown toddlers who behave best with a routine. A sleep ritual makes the end of the day a pleasure, priming you for a quality snooze. An hour before bed, start powering down, and then get your bedroom ready. Letting go of everything that you've done in the day, and keep a notebook at the side of your bed so you can jot down things as and when you need. If you're having trouble getting to sleep, change your sheets. The smell of feel of fresh linen, you can't beat it. Lavender oil, a podcast or audio book. Listen to a guided meditation. Invest in blackout curtains to dull darkness, or take a nana nap in the afternoon like I do. And then we've got the self-care of the mind. Self-care and your mind are interconnected. Practice self-care as myriad benefits for your mental health and well-being. But self-care needs your mind to come to the party too, with the motivation to make it happen. Self-care for your mind is about becoming your own best friend. It's getting in touch with your feelings rather than avoiding them, so you can give yourself the care you need. It's becoming more accepting of who you are in all your imperfected glory. It's making yourself a priority each day so you're in a stronger and more resilient place when challenging times arrive. So in this chapter here, they talk about the blocks of self-care of the mind, boosting a sense of self-worth, shifting self-talk, cultivating self-compassion, practicing mindfulness, and learning to draw boundaries, and so forth and so forth. If you can't have lavender, is it thyme that they said for other one? I can't remember if it were Thai man If it weren't lavender, there were another one that you could put on, and apparently it works just as good. But a lot of people don't like lavender, though, do they? I remember at first when I started using lavender, the first lavender I smelled were like, I know it sounds daft, but it was like when I was little, the smell of lavender when you're little, to me, it smells like an off toilet, or it smelled like I don't know, it was just an awful smell. But then my smell must have changed, because now I quite like the smell of lavender, and I do spray it on my pillow when I've got it. I've ordered some to do that, and I do spray it on pillow, and I do think it does help me sleep. But whether that's just sort of like because that's what I believe. Do you know that, like, what do you call it when you take a tablet, but it's a placebo effect? I don't know whether it's the placebo effect that you get, though. So 5 ways to build your self-worth up. Spruce up your space. A good declutter of your physical space frees up space in your mind too. See a therapist if you feel you have deeper issues to explore. Talking to a professional is a tremendous act of self-care. Stand tall. Imagine a rope is pulling the top of your head towards the sky. It may sound too simple, but good posture feels good. Step outside your comfort zone. Try a new hairdo. Walk your dog down a new street. Start to chat up while waiting in a queue. Doing something different and living to tell the tale is a real confidence boost. And acknowledging your progress, no matter how small the act of self-care, pat yourself on the back to give yourself go on. Pat yourself on the back for making time for yourself. I have no worries, Paul, my lovely. You get myself ready. Good vibes. Have an outstanding day, everyone. You too, Paul, my love. And then it goes on to like be self-talk to yourself, to importance of self-talk. And it's just about being truthful with yourself, I think, mainly. I mean, we all suffer, don't we? We all go through them. We all as minds and that. But I think we've just got to start being honest with yourself, in ways of putting yourself first and everything else. So, on that note, we have got later on live on members, doing some more shamanism workshop, and looking in, I think we're on chapter 5 now, or workshop 5, and it's the wonder of the wilder web of life. The eyes of the future are looking down to us, and they are praying for us to see beyond our own time. This has been absolutely a fantastic read, guys. So if you ever get a chance to get hold of this book, get hold of it, because it's a very interesting read if you like reading about all different kinds of spiritualities out there, and finding which one suits you, or pulling from different aspects of different spiritualities and religions and combining. It's just as good. Tara's are going to be tonight at 9. We are looking at going back out ghost hunting. Claire's just a little bit busy at the moment. A dad fell yesterday while they were away. She's on her way back. He's okay, but then he is diabetic and his blood's dropped. So I'm sending loads of healing out to Claire and her dad and a family. But he seems to be okay now, and he's on his way home. So Claire will not be up for going out tonight, ghost hunting. So tomorrow night we're going to see a medium. Wednesday night, we're doing his own mediumship, spiritual journey at a church. Thursday night is healing. What we are going to look at doing, though, is going live, but it might be going live about 9:30 to go to stop, because we can go afterwards, you see. It finishes about 9 o'clock, so it might mean us going live around about 10 rather than 9:30. Might be in a 10 o'clock live for us. So I hope that's all right. Let us know if that time suits you guys as well for 10 o'clock lives. Because I think for us it might be just that little bit easier to get us back into a routine of going out. I know it's a bit later than normal, and I know people who've got work schedules and stuff, but I think 10 o'clock might be a better time for us to go live, but we'll see. I'm just waiting for email back from a place in Leeds that I've emailed to look into hiring. I think this year, as well as doing the outside ones, I want to look into hiring as well. I'm going to put a date up for when we're going to Sherwood Forest. I don't know whether to put the date up or whether just to see who'd be interested in meeting us there. So I just get a number of who would want to come along to do some investigating around Sherwood Forest. It is such a beautiful place. I wouldn't advise anybody going there on their own at night, but then again, we do get some. John would probably go there on his own at night, whereas though I'd be like, no, you need a group to go with. So we're looking at doing that one. We're also booked back into the Fire Museum. I've just got to sort out how many people are going. Do the same people come from last time, or do we let new people come this time? Just because we've got so many people that want to come, but we only want to keep to a small amount of numbers. So those that come last time might not be coming with us this time, just because there's other people that we want to get opportunity to come out. I'm gonna have a word with Simon and Tim though, and if they don't mind taking a couple round with them, we may be able to get a couple more coming in. But we'll see. We'll sort something out. But that's coming up later in year. Sherwood Forest Experience, we're pre-booking ourselves back into that one as well. So we're going back to the Sherwood Forest Experience in Nottingham. What else have we got coming up? We're off to Northumberland, where we're going to be doing some investigating in Northumberland come end of April. Lana will be with us on an investigation up there. So that's going to be an interesting one because that's taking us out of our area. So to be going and investigating up there is going to be really good. And I know that there's loads of history up there that we can work with as well. So it's all going to be in good fun. So that's me done, guys. So I'm going to say have a great day. We'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock for Tara's members. I will see you over in our members. If you'd like to join as members, you can subscribe by just clicking the subscribe button or support button, whichever it is on the page. It's £2.79 a month, and all that money goes towards helping pay for upcoming events where we're going into higher venues. But it is only on Facebook. The membership. Just remember, when you sign up for a member, you go into a Facebook group, a group that were made by Facebook, because our group's done through them. So the first group you go into, you need to make sure you click the link in the chat, the link in the comments to take you through to where we go live. A lot of people are adding themselves to members, but they're not clicking the link to go into the live group where we're doing as live. So please just double check that you're seeing the lives and you're getting all the workshops and everything else. So just make sure that you click that separate link. So take care, everybody, and we shall see you shortly. Much love, guys. Bye.